Hola, muy buenos a todos. Volvemos a Mass Effect. Vamos ahora a ver a nuestra querida Liara. Ok, ya tenemos punto. Vale, yo primero, para mí lo más importante es elegir bien. Start, perfecto. Perfecto. Un momentito. Así que prosigamos. Recuerdo que, bueno, somos espectro. Tenemos que, bueno, encontrar a Saren y para eso tenemos 3 sitios. Que no me acuerdo sus nombres, pero primero me gustaría ir al planeta donde está la hija de la matriarca Venecia o algo así. Bueno, primero quiero hablar con Presley. Hola, Presley.
If anyone has to take over for Captain Anderson, I'm glad it's you. I'm not sure about having non-humans on our ship, though.
No me seas racista.
We're all on the same team here, Presley.
With all due respect, ma'am, that's what they said about Nihilus. Look how that turned out.
Investigar alienígenas.
Speak freely, Presley. I want to know if you have a problem with non-humans.
It's not that, Commander. Humanity has always handled its own problems. Saren attacked one of our colonies. We should be the ones to stop him. We don't need their help.
Some people think asking for help is a sign of weakness. That's just being stupid and stubborn. No matter how strong you are, allies can make you stronger.
I guess so. Maybe I'm just stuck in the old ways of thinking. But don't worry, Commander. This won't be a problem.
Eso espero.
How did you end up assigned to the Normandy?
I signed up with the Alliance as a navigator right out of school, following in my grandfather's footsteps, I guess. My first posting was on the Agincourt. We were at Elysium during the Skillian Blitz. A massive fleet of alien raiders hit the colony, trying to wipe it out. They had the numbers, but their ships were no match for an Alliance frigate. It was a slaughter. We couldn't even keep track of how many ships they lost.
How'd you end up on the Normandy?
I got my officer's commission after Elysium. Must have made an impression on the right people. Captain asked for me when he was picking his crew.
Carry on, Presley.
Yes, ma'am.
Ah, Dios. Yo... Bueno, ahí es para charlar. Yo quiero bajar. Muy buena seña. Yo quiero preguntar por Talia, Rex y... no sé quién más. ¿Garrus? Dios. Garrus, por favor. Mi niño. A ver. ¿Qué quiere?
Hey, Commander. Looking for some extra supplies before you head out?
What have you got?
Whatever you want. Armor, weapons, mods. It's not standard Alliance issue, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Well, as long as you don't mind paying for it.
Why should I pay you for my weapons and armor?
My stuff doesn't come from the Alliance. I have to purchase it myself, and it's not cheap. Hell, the licenses alone have set me back more than I'd like. But no licenses, no goods. Without the goods, I'm out of a job.
What are licenses? Why do you need them?
Manufacturers sell licenses. Each license allows me to buy and sell a certain brand of products. I already have several basic ones, but you'll need to buy more if you want me to bring in different brands. Many of the best licenses are hard to get, but they're well worth the cost if you can find them.
What do the different manufacturers offer?
There are too many for me to keep track of, but each license will explain what it's good for.
¿Yo qué he preguntado? ¿Licencias?
What are licenses?
Ah, sí,
Manufacture-
Mira.
Many of the best licenses are hard to
New
get, but
items.
they're well worth the
How
cost.
often will you get new items?
Well, that depends on how many licenses you've purchased. But I'll rotate items on a regular basis regardless. And anytime we land someplace with a big enough port, I'll buy, sell, and trade whatever I can. Check back often. I need to move items quickly, so only the most basic items will be stocked consistently.
Let's see what you've got.
You bet, Commander.
Soy pobre, ¿no? Soy pobrísima, tío. 304.000 gigas. ¿Qué es lo más básico que tienes? Nice. Nice. Y eso ya no me lo puedo comprar. Garros. Guapo.
Thanks for bringing me on board, Commander. I knew working with the Spectre would be better than life at CSEC.
Have you worked with the Spectre before?
Well, no, but I know what they're like. Spectres make their own rules. You're free to handle things your way. At CSEC, you're buried by rules. The damn bureaucrats are always on your back.
Being a Spectre does have its advantages.
Exactly my point. If I'm trying to take down a suspect, it shouldn't matter how I do it, as long as I do it.
But CSEC wants it done their way. Protocol and procedure come first. That's why I left.
So you just quit because you didn't like the way they do things?
There's more to it than that. It didn't start out bad, but as I rose in ranks, I got saddled with more and more red tape. CSEC's handling of Saren was typical. I just couldn't take it anymore. I hate leaving.
I hope you made the right choice. I'd hate for you to regret it later.
Well, that's sort of why I teamed up with you. It's a chance for me to get off the Citadel, see how things are done outside CSEC. Either way, I plan to make the most of this.
And without CSEC headquarters looking over my shoulder, well, maybe I can get the job done my way for a change.
As long as you do your job well, you're free to go about your business as you see fit.
Thank you, Commander.
Nena, guapo, para ti, todo. ¿Me entiendes? Oh,
Commander, good to see you.
uf. Que me emociono. Ah, no, contigo no hablo. Oh. Si todo es malo. Y ese deduzco que es mío. Ah, no, será de Tony. Oh, hola.
Nice ship you've got, Shepard.
Thanks.
What can I do for you?
What's your story, Rex?
There's no story. Go ask the Quarian if you want stories.
You Krogans live for centuries. Don't tell me you haven't had a few interesting adventures.
Well, there was this one time the Turians almost wiped out our entire race. That was fun.
I heard about that. You know, they almost did the same to us.
It's not the same.
It seems pretty much the same to me.
So your people were infected with a genetic mutation? An infection that makes only a few in 1,000 children survive birth? And I suppose it's destroying your entire species?
I suppose it isn't all the same.
I don't expect you to understand, but don't compare humanity's fate with the Krogan.
Sorry, Rex. I wasn't trying to get you upset.
Your ignorance doesn't upset me, Shepard. As for the Krogan, I gave up on them long ago. The genophage infected us, but it's not what's killing us.
Are your people really dying?
We're sure not getting any stronger. We're too spread out. None of us are interested in staying in our own system.
Lots of species have left their homes and prospered.
But they go to colonize new worlds. We're not settlers. We're warriors. We want to fight. So we leave. Hire ourselves out. And most of us never go back.
What can you tell me about the genophage?
Ask the Solarians if you want details. They made it. All I know, it makes breeding nearly impossible. Thousands die in stillbirth, and Most never get that far. Every Krogan is infected. Everyone. And no one's rushing to find a cure.
Why don't the Krogan try to find a cure?
When was the last time you saw a Krogan scientist?
Tienes razón.
Ask a Krogan. Would he rather find a cure for the genophage or fight for credits? He'll choose fighting every time. It's just who we are, Shepard. I can't change that. Nobody can.
So long, Rex.
Shepard.
Rex. Y ahora mi precioso. Niña?
Your ship's amazing, Shepard. I've never seen a drive core like this before. I can't believe you were able to fit it into a ship this small. I'm starting to understand why you humans have been so successful. I had no idea Alliance vessels were so advanced.
The Normandy's a prototype, cutting-edge technology.
A month ago, I was patching a makeshift fuel line into a converted tug ship in the flotilla. Now, I'm sitting on board one of the most advanced vessels in Citadel space. I have to thank you again for bringing me along. Traveling on a vessel like this is a dream come true for me.
I had no idea you found ship technology so interesting.
It comes with being a Quarian. The migrant fleet is the key to the survival of my people. Ships are our most valuable resource. But we don't have anything like this. We make do with cast-offs and second-hand equipment. We just try to keep them running for as long as we can. Some of the fleet's larger vessels date all the way back to our original flight from the get.
I can't believe your fleet's still using ships that are 3 centuries old.
They're constantly being repaired, modified, and refitted. They aren't pretty, but they work. Mostly. We've tried to make ourselves as independent as possible on the flotilla. Grow our own food, mine, and process our own fuel. But some things we just can't make on our own. A patch to maintain the hull integrity requires raw materials we just don't have. That's why our pilgrimages are so important.
Tell me about your people.
Our lives aren't easy. Resources are scarce, and we are constantly on the move. Everything we do must in some way contribute to the continuation of the migrant fleet. There are 17 million Quarians in the flotilla, and each of us relies on the others for survival. The bonds among my people are strong. Unfortunately, we have had to surrender many of the freedoms and civil liberties other species take for granted.
What kind of freedoms?
Well, it's illegal for parents to have more than one child. If our population grows too much, it would strain our resources to their breaking point. Of course, we also can't allow our numbers to become too few. If our population is in decline, the rule against single births is temporarily repealed. In extreme cases of population decline, incentives are even offered to encourage multiple births, though the Conclave hasn't had to take such measures in nearly a century.
That's your government.
The Conclave is our civilian branch of government. Each ship can elect a representative to serve on the Conclave and make decisions that affect the fleet as a whole. On matters that affect an individual ship, however, the captain has the final say. It's a tradition that dates back to the early days, when the fleet was governed by martial law. Fortunately, most captains nowadays are smart enough to have an elected council from their crew to give them advice and guidance.
So the ultimate power rests with elected officials?
In practice, the Conclave and the respective council for each ship tend to set the rules that govern our daily lives. But in theory, we are still under military jurisdiction. The 5 top-ranking military officials in the fleet serve on the Admiralty Board. These 5 have the power to overrule any decision by the Conclave in case of emergency. To do so requires unanimous agreement among the Admiralty, and they can only do this once. After that, the entire board must resign their posts. It's a safeguard that served us well. In nearly 3 centuries, the Admiralty Board has only overruled the Conclave 4 times.
I want to know more about the Geth.
I doubt I can tell you anything you don't already know. It's been almost 3 centuries since they drove my people into exile. All I know is the story of their origins. What they were when we created them, and how they turned on us.
Interesting.
The Geth were originally created to serve as an automated manual labor force. Initially, their intelligence was as limited as any VI. Over time, we made small modifications to their programming to allow them to perform more varied and complex tasks, bringing them closer and closer to true AI status.
How come the Council didn't step in and stop you?
This wasn't true AI research. We may have been skirting the bounds of the law, but we never did anything that was actually illegal. The changes were so insignificant, so gradual, that we were able to control them. Or so we thought. But one thing we underestimated was the power of the neural network. A million Geth thinking simultaneously created an inherently unstable matrix.
So the Geth share brain power?
Many of the Geth's logic systems were designed to work in concert with other nearby Geth. Basically, the more of them you have in a group, the smarter they are.
So there's some sort of group consciousness?
No, nothing like that. They cannot share sensory data or information. Their programming cannot handle that much simultaneous input. Each Geth maintains an individual awareness and identity. The neural network only operates on a process-based level. It's basically the synthetic equivalent of a subconscious. But when they're in close proximity, they can coordinate low-level functional processes, freeing up more capacity for original or independent thought.
That doesn't make any sense.
I'm probably oversimplifying. The Geth are incredibly advanced and complex creations. All you need to know is that they get smarter when they gather in large numbers. As we built more and more Geth, their effective intelligence became more sophisticated, more abstract. One day, a Geth began to ask its Quarian overseer questions about the nature of its existence. Am I alive? Why am I here? What is my purpose? As you can imagine, this caused a near panic among my people.
I don't see what's so bad about those questions.
The Geth were created to engage in mundane, repetitive, or dangerous manual labor. That's fine for machines, but it won't satisfy a sentient being for long. The Geth were showing signs of rudimentary self-awareness and independent thought. If the Geth were intelligent, then we were essentially using them as slaves. It was inevitable the newly sentient Geth would rebel against their situation. We knew they would rise up against us, so we acted first. A general order went out across all Quarian-controlled systems to permanently deactivate all Geth. The Geth responded to this order violently.
Hey, you can't blame them for fighting for their survival.
We had no other choice. The Geth were already on the verge of revolution. By acting quickly, we had a chance to end the war before it began. The hope was that most of the Geth would still be little more than machines, incapable of organized resistance. But they had progressed much further than anyone anticipated. The war was long and bloody. Millions upon millions of Quarians died at their hands. In the end, we were forced to flee our own homeworld. We feared the Geth would pursue us, but they never came beyond the veil. Now we drift through space, exiled, searching for a way to reclaim what was once ours.
Pero si eso ya lo he dicho. A ver, pilgrimage.
I want to know more about the pilgrimage.
When my people reach maturity, we leave our birth ships and seek acceptance with a new crew. It's necessary to maintain genetic diversity among the fleet. But no ship wants to accept someone who will be a burden on them. So, to prove our worth, we embark on a pilgrimage. We set out alone, leaving the flotilla and our families behind us. We only return once we have found something of value we can bring back to the fleet. This is presented as a gift to the captain of the respective ship we wish to join. If the gift is accepted, we are welcomed into the crew.
Can a captain choose to reject the gift?
That doesn't happen often. Most captains are eager to increase the size of their crew. It increases their own standing in our society. Even when a gift is not particularly valuable, the captain usually accepts it out of a sense of tradition. However, there is a stigma to presenting a substandard gift. It's not the best way to make a good impression on a new community. Most pilgrims don't return until they find something worthwhile.
I can't believe they just send you off alone.
It's not like they just cast us out. Before we leave, we are given lessons in how to survive outside the flotilla, and given gifts to help us on our journey. We also receive implants to fight off sickness and disease. Generations of living in an isolated and highly controlled environment have left our immune systems weaker than most. By the time we leave the fleet, we are well equipped for the pilgrimage. This is a rite of passage for all Quarians. If it were dangerous, our numbers would suffer. Virtually every pilgrimage ends with a triumphant return and the ritual presentation of the gift to one of the fleet's captains.
I want to talk about something else.
Like what?
Goodbye.
I should go.
See you later.
See you later, alligator. Dios, 68. A ver, descripción me va a servir mucho. ¿Por qué tengo uno de esos? No sé, bueno. ¿Y esto qué es? Bueno. Bueno,
Hey,
hola.
Commander, you know that Quarian, Tally? She's been spending all her time down here asking me about our engines.
I'll tell her to leave you alone.
What? No, she's amazing. I wish my guys were half as smart as she is. Give her a month on board and she'll know more about our engines than I do. She's got a real knack for technology, that one. I can see why you wanted her to come along.
I figured she'd be a real asset to the team.
You've got an eye for Tally, Commander, but I'm guessing that's not why you came down here.
I want to know more about the Normandy.
She's the best ship I've ever served on. Probably the fastest vessel ever designed. She's the only one using the new Tantalus drive core.
What's so special about the Tantalus drive core?
Proportionally, it's about twice the size of any other vessel. Not only are we faster, we can run at FTL speeds longer before we have to discharge the core.
Where else have you served, Adams?
You name a class of Alliance ship, I've probably served on it. Everything from dreadnoughts and carriers right down to frigates like the Normandy. My last assignment was on the Tokyo, only a cruiser, but she was a good ship. Couldn't hold a candle to the Normandy, though.
Fill me in on the IES stealth system. How does it work exactly?
You can't hide a ship out in space. They emit too much heat and radiation. Too easy for sensors to pick them up, unless you find a way to capture those emissions. So our stealth systems trap the energy we give off in storage sinks built into the ship itself. No emissions to give away our location. Eventually the sinks have to be vented. Over a few hours silent running and they overheat. Cook us inside our own hull.
There's no way for anyone to detect us?
A visual scan can still pick us up. Anyone looking out a window can see us plain as day. But you have to be pretty close to get an actual visual out in space. Most vessels rely on scanners. As long as the stealth systems are engaged, they can't see us. Not unless we accelerate to FTL speeds.
Why doesn't it work with faster-than-light travel?
Cranking up the FTL blue shifts our emissions, pushes them into frequencies too high to capture in the sinks. As soon as we make the jump, it's like setting off a flare. Sensors can pick up our location whenever we enter or exit FTL flight, but for short-range missions, our stealth systems are amazing, and we've got the only one.
Nice.
Carry on, Adams.
Aye, aye, Commander.
Bueno. A ver, puedo ir a ver cómo se... Hola, activé. Ah, no puedo moverme. No me había dado cuenta. Kaidan Alenko. Hola, ¿habéis visto a este? Estás en la cocina, ¿no? Bueno, lo que debería ser la cocina.
Anything you need, Commander?
Just trying to get a sense of where the crew's at. Thoughts?
I've wasted enough of your time for now, Commander. We'll have time for personal debriefings later.
What's your opinion on the last mission?
I don't see how we could have done things any better. At least not without getting to Eden Prime sooner. And we were on the scene faster than any other Alliance ship could have been.
We'll talk another time, Lieutenant.
Commander?
Chao, chao. Bueno, vámonos. Ah. Vámonos. Qué bonito. Era Liara. Sparta, Mesa, Antena. ¿Dónde tengo que ir? ¿Sí?
Commander, I'm picking up a signal from the planet's surface. It looks like an automated distress beacon.
Pues vamos. Vamos a salvar a ver qué tal. A mi niño, a mi otro niño y nos vamos. Y es verdad que vamos en cochecito. ¿Ves? Cochecito del mundo. Mapa. Debris. Anomalía. Distress signal. Squad. Bien. Me acabo de disparar. No solo eso. Hola. ¿Eso? ¡Toma! me llega?
Heading out.
Alliance soldiers. Looks like they were lured here by the distress beacon.
Looks like these men were under Admiral Kahoku's command. He'd want to know what happened here.
Acabo de malgastar, me dijeron. ¿Puedo hacer algo? No. Mapa. ¿Qué es eso? Ah, meteoritos. Ya te sé. ¿Por qué hay algo? Ah, a lo mejor es el final del mundo.
Heading out.
Vamos. Salariano unificado. I'm sorry, man.
Let's get moving.
Just lead the way.
Vale, y había esto. Que no sé más. Vamos. Allá, para allá, para allá. Madre mía. O sea, parece que es mucho terreno. Pero luego mirando al minimapa, pues es como... Tampoco es para tanto. Hay que subir, hay que bajar o no hay que hacer nada. A ver. ¿Cómo que...? Malditas seas. Bueno, vámonos. Bueno. Yes. Algún día volveré. ¿Y tú? Vale, entonces este sistema no es. A ver. Yo. Madre mía. Minerales. Señales de batalla. Ah, vale. Espectro cajoco. Acá hay 20 de ellos. Artemis Tau. Ah. Que es como ahí... Adivina. Vale. No. Pero sigo. Macet. A ver. Claramente cojo a mis niños y nos vamos. Ahora hierba. A ver, mapa. Stronghold. Ah, no, vale. Ahí no voy a ir porque seguramente me va a decir nivel de electrónica muy bajo. Yo voy a decir así. Adiós. Yo por ahí no paso. Sí que está lejos. Por favor, no me digas que está encima de eso. Tengo que subir. Aquí. Madre mía. Ya está. Matriarca de Linga. Interesante. Por ahí hay materiales. Gira. Ah. Pues esto... Madre mía. Obsorio. Bueno. Mapa. Y vamos... aquí. Pero, ¿cuántos enemigos hay ahí? No sé si le doy. No, me estoy dando. Oh, atropellamos. Ah, que son piratas. Me van a matar. No quiero. Se sigue vivo. Ya no. Hola. Pues nada. Vamos allá. Oh, no, más enemigos.
Get down! ¿Me estás diciendo que no le he dado?
Powering up.
Medkit. ¿Sabes qué? Toma. No le he dado. Ah, escopetazos. No sé. No. Tío. ¿A qué te...? Pues nada, vamos a lanzar. Hay que guardar partida más o menos. Y ya está. Bajamos. Guardamos partida. Y vamos. No sé qué arma cogerme. ¿Pero cuántas vidas tienes?
Good as new.
¡Bro! Me alegro de haber guardado partida. Vamos. Gracias.
I'm a little busy here.
¿Qué le sabéis, Slaver? A ver, yo tengo poderes, ¿no? A ver. ¡No! ¡No! Casi lo tenía. Casi. Vamos. Vamos. Let's go, my boys. Ah, no, yo quiero otra arma. Pero, ¿qué dejáis? ¿Qué entre? Ya está. Hola. Dale. ¿No le he quitado nada? ¿Cómo que blocked? No queremos que te... ¿Podemos salvar? Vale. trabajo más hecho, señor? ¿Qué trabajo, madre mía? Vale. Todo lo que no me sirve es... No me sirves, no me sirves. Por fin. No me sirves. No me sirves. Te dejo. No. 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 Tú me sirves. Reaper 2 y esto para afuera. Bueno, tengo coreano y... turiano. ¿Pero por qué no te sirve? No pregunto. Heavy armor, light armor. A ver. No me sirves. Es que el heavy armor no me sirve porque yo no voy a llevarlo. Como siempre, Shepard cansándose al momento, ¿eh? No. Pero a ver qué hay ahí. ¿Cómo que skill too low? Me indigno. Anasana Dantius. Son hermanas. Hay que hablar. ¿En serio? Bueno, al menos... Al menos tú me sirves. Quiero saltar. Pero no puedo. Puedo correr, pero durante poco tiempo. Dale. Mary Jo. Guardamos partida, no quiero repetir eso. Ha sido épico. Buah. No me esperaba poder pasar. A ver, mapa. Ahí no voy a poder ir, pero ahí puedo. Vamos. Para allá. No. Un solecito. Bueno, estrellita. El sol sobre el mundo. puedes llevar. ¡Dale! ¿En serio estoy subiendo esto? ¡No! ¿El mineral? Ahí. Casi. Perfectamente podría haber llegado aquí con el coche. ¿Por qué lo he dejado? Ven aquí, cochito. ¿Cómo que nivel 1 de Hazard? ¿Cómo? No me esperaba eso. Cerquita. Y nos vamos a la normal. Guardo partida, no quiero repetir eso. Volvemos. Más cosas escritas. Aquí no hay nada. Así que siguiente. Salami. Náusica, qué bonito. Depósito de gas. Nada. Depósito de gas otra vez. Paros. Turian insignia. Y bueno, el último. Si no, yo ya no sé. A ver. Perfecto. Nada. Armini. Tampoco no. Ah, aquí. Sí. Bueno, pues nada. Para adelante.
Commander, I'm picking up some strange readings. Really strange, like off the damn charts. It looks like it's coming from an underground complex a few clicks away from the drop zone.
¿Cómo? ¡No! ¡Pero no vayas a la lava! ¡No vayas a la lava! Estoy yendo bien. Sí. Malditos Geth con sus naves. Ya está. Pero, Dios santo.
Only a fool punches a knapsack in the mouth. We should sneak around and pull his tail.
Voy. Pero ¿cómo voy alrededor? Ah, vale. Pero aquí debería haber un camino. No me he ido demasiado atrás. Dime tú dónde está el camino, que no lo veo. Ah, por ahí. Yo lo siento mucho, yo no. Lo mío, conducir, no. No veo nada. Veo todo. ¿Qué me está dando? Vamos.
Perimeter clear.
A mí no me disparas así, señorito. Corre, corre, corre. El coche está ahí. Vale, esa nos mata de uno. No le deis, que no le deis. Que vamos al coche y ya está. Fatigue, sí, lo sé. aquí ahora ya... Sí. Vamos.
Remember to stay hydrated.
Tienes razón, hay que beber un poquito. Es que quería sentir garros, ¿eh? Vamos. Ánimo.
Patching you up.
Me cago. ¿Por qué siempre lo hagas? ¿Eh? Ah, no hay nada. Y bueno.
Nothing but rocks, dirt, and lava. Reminds me of home.
Me alegro que te sientas como en casa, hijo. Ni. No veo aquí uno. Ya. Ya. Calma.
Negative contact.
Sí. No veo nada. Vamos.
Wychodzę. Pomóż się za mną.
I tak, wiem, że wszystko będzie. Dzięki. Wracam. ¿Que ya me dispara desde tan lejos? Ah. ¿No tú? Sí, te he matado. Acá hay otro. ¿Puedo? Por fin. Tengo que subir Electronics y Decryption. ¿Ya esto otra vez? Ya me están disparando. Ya. Calma, hijo. puedo curarlo. Ah, bueno, porque no está bien. Perdón. Y ahora voy a por ti. Creo. Eso espero. Ha hecho guardar. Es verdad. Yo hace mucho que no guardo partido. Odio conducir. Ya. Ay, 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 ay. No. Ah, que sí. Ah, vale, pero ya casi estoy. Ya. No, para allá no. Hay que subir. Vale, vale. Casi me quemo.
Right aboard.
De nada me fío.
I smell trouble.
You smell trouble, I smell trouble. Estáis disparando, pero no se ve a nadie. Ábrete.
All targets down.
So, all targets. ¿Qué hay algo? No.
Clear.
¿Clear? Confiaré en ti, ¿eh?
I smell
¡Mentiroso! No estaba aquí. Cambio de arma. quitado la kill. Yes. No, 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 no. Ahí no. No, me quedo con pisto. Me han cambiado el arma. Sí, eso es lo que más me temía, el cosito grande. No, estoy acá. Me pierdo. ¡Me he perdido! ¡Hay tanta cosa! ¡Ya! ¡Ya! Es que no estoy. ¡Es Stalker! ¡Pero dispara, chica! ¡Va!
Gel deployed. Need some help here.
Muere. Pues nada. ¿Qué es eso? Me pone muy cerca y no dispara. Muérete ya. Es que no le doy. Dale. Es que bro, ¿cómo no le doy? Puedes venir. Ya. guapo. No sé dónde está. ¿Qué me ha dado? Ahora podemos. Tú sí. Nada. Carlos. Quería ir yo ahí. Hola. ¡Sigue vivo! Oye. ¿Ya? Aunque yo veo que ahí hay otra cosa. Hombre, ya. ¿Puedo? No puedo. ¿Puedo? Tampoco puedo. Puedo guardar. Madre mía. Madre mía. Vamos a... Vamos a salvar a Liana. Vamos a salvar, conocer. Are you following me? Yes. No. Ya. Estoy harta.
Just lead the way.
Let's get moving.
Hay que ir ahí, ¿no? Aquí, pared. Dale. He hecho bien a nosotros. ¡Ah, no! ¡Escóndete! ¿Puedo usar un IT? Se mueren todos. Pequeño scratch de nada. ¿Qué tal el día, chicos? ¿Bien? Uepa. Diana. Mi niña. Niña preciosa.
Can you hear me out there? I'm trapped. I need help.
Are you okay? What happened to you?
Listen, this thing I'm in is a Prothean security device. I cannot move, so I need you to get me out of it, all right?
Venecia.
Your mother is working with Saren. Whose side are you on?
What? I am not on anybody's side. I may be Venezia's daughter, but I'm nothing like her. I have not spoken to her in years. Please, just get me out of here.
How did you end up in there?
I was exploring the ruins when the Geth showed up, so I hid in here. Can you believe that? Geth, beyond the veil! I activated the tower's defenses. I knew the barrier curtains would keep them out. When I turned it on, I must have hit something I wasn't supposed to. I was trapped in here. You must get me out, please!
Sí.
We'll find some way to help you.
There is a control in here that should deactivate this thing. You'll have to find some way past the barrier curtain. That's the tricky part. The defenses cannot be shut off from the outside. I don't know how you'll get in here. Be careful. There is a Krogan with the Geth. They have been trying different ways to get past the barrier.
Decía yo, he visto ahí algo. ¿Puedes esconderte por el amor de Dios? ¿Cómo? ¿Cómo has muerto? Hijo, que te quiero mucho, pero te mueres ahí al momento. Señora, tú también. ¿Puedes dejar de esconderte? Mentira. Que ninguna me sigue. ¿Cómo que hace eso? Hydra, Liberator, Babo. No, vamos. Eso ya está. Vamos allá, chiquis. Vamos a salvarla. Guardo. Perfecto.
How did you get in here? I didn't think there was any way past the barrier.
We have to get you out of here before more Geth arrive.
Yes, you're right. I've seen enough of them to last a lifetime. That button should shut down my containment field.
Any idea how we get out of this place?
There is an elevator back in the center of the tower. At least I think it's an elevator. It should take us out of here. Come on!
Te seguimos. Bueno.
I still cannot believe all this. Why would the Geth come after me? Do you think Benezia's involved?
Saren's looking for the conduit. You're a Prothean expert. Obviously, he wants you to help him find it.
The conduit? But I don't know.
Qué bonito.
What the hell was that?
These ruins are not stable. That mining laser must have triggered a seismic event. We have to hurry. The whole place is caving in.
Joker, get the Normandy airborne and lock in on my signal. On the double, mister.
Aye, aye, Commander. Secure and away. ETA 8 minutes.
If I die in here, I'll kill him.
Claro, como que sí. Como que vamos a matarlo. Me encanta. Ya han sacado las armas.
Surrender. Or don't. That would be more fun.
don't have time to deal with this idiot. Charge!
I like your attitude.
Me lo imaginaba. Ah, sí. Toma. Doble. No le ha hecho nada. ¿Por qué tengo dos bombas?
Spare the Asari if you can.
Ese voy por aquí, tranquilo. Ay. Yo. No hago pin. Demasiado rápido. Y se me cambió el arma.
Spare the Asari if you can.
Espera, he subido de nivel. Señora. No, eso lo dejo. Me estás tocando ya. Pero, baja. Hola. Ah, está ahí. Escopita time.
Spare the Asari if you can.
Iba también. A ver. ¿Esto qué? Vale, vale. ¿Y ahora? Vale. No sé cómo, pero ya ha muerto Garrus. No, no era lo que quería hacer. ¿Cómo que ya me... No, de ahí no te mueves. Me acabas de decir en serio que solo tengo... ¿Ella está muerto? Uy. ¡Déjame en paz! ¡No! ¡Déjame! ¿Verdad? ¿Está muerto? ¡Qué estrés!
Too close, Commander. 10 more seconds we would have been swimming in molten sulfur. The Normandy isn't equipped to land in exploding volcanoes. They tend to fry our sensors and melt our hull. Just for future reference.
We almost died out there, and your pilot is making jokes?
Joker pulled our asses out of there. I think he's earned the right to a few bad jokes.
Joker siempre.
It must be a human thing. I don't have a lot of experience dealing with your species, Commander. But I am grateful to you. You saved my life back there, and not just from the volcano. Those Geth would have killed me or dragged me off to Saren.
What did Saren want with you? Do you know something about the conduit?
Only that it was somehow connected to the Prothean extinction. That is my real area of expertise. I have spent the past 50 years trying to figure out what happened to them.
Just how old are you exactly?
110.
I hate to admit it, but I am only 106.
Damn! I hope I look that good when I'm your age.
A century may seem like a long time to a short-lived species like yours, but among the Asari, I am barely considered more than a child. That is why my research has not received the attention it deserves. Because of my youth, other Asari scholars tend to dismiss my theories on what happened to the Protheans.
I've got my own theory on why the Protheans disappeared.
With all due respect, Commander, I have heard every theory out there. The problem is finding evidence to support them. The Protheans left remarkably little behind. It is almost as if someone did not want the mystery solved. It is like someone came along after the Protheans were gone and cleansed the galaxy of clues. But here is the incredible part. According to my findings, the Protheans were not the first galactic civilization to mysteriously vanish. This cycle began long before them.
Where'd you come up with this theory? I thought there wasn't any evidence.
I have been working on this for 50 years. I have tracked down every scrap and shred of evidence. Eventually, subtle patterns start to emerge, patterns that hint at the truth. It is difficult to explain to someone else. I cannot point to one specific thing to prove my case. It is more a feeling derived from a half-century of dedicated research. But I know I'm right, and eventually I will be able to prove it. There were other civilizations before the Protheans. This cycle has repeated itself many times over.
If the Protheans weren't the first, then who was?
I don't know. There is barely any evidence on the Protheans, even less on those who came before them. I cannot prove my theory, but I know I am right. The galaxy is built on a cycle of extinction. Each time a great civilization rises up, it is suddenly and violently cast down. Only ruins survive. The Protheans rose up from a single world until their empire spanned the entire galaxy. Yet even they climbed to the top on the remains of those who came before. Their greatest achievements, the mass relays and the Citadel, are based on the technology of those who came before them. And then, like all the other forgotten civilizations throughout galactic history, the Protheans disappeared. I have dedicated my life to figuring out why.
They were wiped out by a race of sentient machines, the Reapers.
The
The Reapers? But I have never heard of. How do you know this? What evidence do you have?
There was a damaged Prothean beacon on Eden Prime. It burned a vision into my brain. I'm still trying to sort out what it all means.
Visions. Yes, that makes sense. The beacons were designed to transmit information directly into the mind of the user. Finding one that still works is extremely rare. No wonder the Geth attacked Eden Prime. The chance to acquire a working beacon, even a badly damaged one, is worth almost any risk. But the beacons were only programmed to interact with Prothean physiology. Whatever information you received would have been confused, unclear. I am amazed you were able to make sense of it at all. A lesser mind would have been utterly destroyed by the process. You must be remarkably strong-willed, Commander.
This isn't helping us find Saren, or the conduit.
Of course, you're right. I am sorry, my scientific curiosity got the better of me. Unfortunately, I do not have any information that could help you find the conduit, or Saren.
I don't know why Saren wanted you out of the picture, but I think we'll be a lot better off if we bring you along.
Thank you, Commander. Saren might come after me again. I cannot think of anywhere safer than here on your ship. And my knowledge of the Protheans might be useful later on.
And her biotics will come in handy when the fighting starts.
Good to have you on the team, Liara.
Thank you, Commander. I am very grateful. Oh, I am afraid I am feeling a bit lightheaded.
When was the last time you ate, or slept? Dr. Chakwa should take a look at you.
It is probably just mental exhaustion, coupled with the shock of discovering the Protheans' true fate. I need some time to process all this. Still, it could not hurt to be examined by a medical professional. It will give me the chance to think things over. Are we finished here, Commander?
We can talk again after you've seen the doctor. The rest of you, dismissed.
Mission reports are filed, Commander. You want me to patch you through to the Council?
No. No.
Don't bother.
Aye, aye, ma'am.
¿Qué les den? Bueno, pues por hoy acabaremos... ¿Ah? Bueno, acabaremos Mass Effect, así que gracias a todos. Guarda más partida, ¿no? Nunca hay que olvidarse. Y que tengan un buen día.